As I said the other day, people, sane people do not build RC cars like the one under that cover. Well, Rich here, and welcome back my fellow drifter maniacs. Today I'm unveiling the new RC Hypercar, as I would like to call it, that I've had in build for the past couple of weeks. Now, some of you may have seen bits of this car on the channel before, but this is the first time I'm doing a big reveal. Now, I call this an RC Hypercar. I don't call it that lightly. I've been using a lot of the time I've had spare whilst we've been under shelter in place, etc., to build some seriously wicked cars, including this twin 8S powered armour infraction, which I probably go at stupid speed on the right day. But I wanted to up the game, take things to a different level. What is lurking under here is a 1/5 road car, approximately 1 inch under 3 foot in length. So it's not the easiest of things to work on in the space that I've got at the minute. And it's taken quite a lot to put this car together. So first of all, I would like to give a shout out to a couple of companies that have helped me put this build together along the way. First of all, Radio Link for the RC6GS radio. This thing has got ABS braking on it, but best of all, it's got a 1900 foot range, or around about 600 meters on it. More programmable functions on it than you can possibly even think about. You can adjust every little parameter, brake curves, throttle curves, etc. on the car. So I'll put a link to that below the video. Now, this car, according to the manufacturers, should be powered by the 2.3S or 2.4S packs. So I'm thinking, great, 8S, and it will take a 600 to a 1000 kV motor. But if you've seen some of the recent builds on this channel, you'll know that is not my style at all. Just going for 8S on this. So we've dived straight in, thanks to our friends at Power Hobby, providing 2 6S packs. This car, though, isn't running twin motors like the infraction. It is running one single 600 kV Poseidon motor. So this car's running on a genuine 12S setup. I'll put a link to all the parts, everything I've used in the build of this car. And whilst people have helped out along the way, quite a lot of this car I did actually buy and put together with my own money. But even just getting some of these parts at this particular time trying is not that easy, and people have gone out of their extra mile to help me get what I needed to finish this car. Little drum roll please, people. May I proudly present the very shiny chrome Rovan F5. Now, this is based upon an electric roller. You do need to provide all your own electrics for this car. Doesn't come with anything included in it, but that gives you free choice if you want to go a little bit insane and go about creating what you consider to be an RC hypercar. And if you're wondering exactly how much chrome paint that took, well, check this out. Paint. You're going to need so much paint, it just about bankrupts you. Now, that body alone took about 3 days to paint, because not only have you got to paint it with the chrome, you have to paint it with a black backer on the inside after you finish doing that. How big is this car compared to other cars? Well, that is the body from my armour infraction. So that gives you some idea of just how much bigger this thing is. And most people would class the armour infraction at 1/7 scale as a fairly big road car, yet this thing probably nearly a third bigger and just about twice as wide. And as for the body shell, I would say it's got a very similar design to the McLaren F1 road car, and even the modern McLarens, particularly when you see the back of it when I get the camera around the car. And if you like what you see today, I'll put a link to the car below the video, as I will to everything that's fitted to the inside of the car. And if you like today's video, then don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell. Later on in the video, I'll put it side by side with the X-Max so you can gauge just how big it is. Now, this isn't any ordinary car. You don't just have 4 body clips, 2 at the front and 2 at the rear. You've also got another 6 around the outside, 2 on either side and another 2 at the front. Anyway, let's put this on the stand and have a look around it. Well, ignore that wheel arch gap, because with it being on the stand, the wheels are obviously hanging down. Hopefully you can see what I mean about that McLaren-esque look to the car. Now, you will note the clear light spaces, because I masked the lights off because I want to fit LEDs to the front and rear. So with them now being clear, I think the thing's going to look absolutely awesome with some big bright white LEDs in there. The chrome paint is an absolute nightmare to keep clean, I will say. Now, moving round to that back end, if you're familiar with the modern McLarens, That then definitely looks familiar to my mind. And as you see there, I've left the clear spaces at the rear for fitting some nice clear brake lights in there. And I sprayed the windows black to give it that sort of bad boy look and feel to the car. But it's going to be a nightmare to keep clean for sure. But overall, quite pleased with the way it looks. Let me know what you think in the comments section though. Anyhow, with the Rovan F5 sat back on the side, the wheel arches once again look far more in proportion. Hope you could see what I meant by that. That's coming on pretty nicely. So what have we got under the skin of the Rovan F5? I'll put a link to the car below the video. As I say, it is available just as an electric roller, or you can get a gas-powered version as well, which is, I guess, what this was originally based upon, and then they've electrified it, as it were. So, we've got space for some serious sized batteries on there. Look, there's plenty of space on there in these Power Hobby ones. 5100C, 6S a piece, running in series with a 300 amp ESC. As I say, this is a roller, and it does require a bit of work to put all this together. Mounting the motor is relatively easy, just a little bit time consuming, but when you put it all together and it holds it in right, that thing is not going anywhere in a hurry. Really good mounting system on there. Anyway, I'll talk you around the car from the front. Obviously, not much of an impact bumper, but you hit anything with this at any speed and that's the last of your worries. Anyway, check out those big bore shocks on there. Four-wheel drive. I think these are 8mm thick steel drive shafts on here. Fully adjustable turnbuckles all round. Just a one body mount in position. Twin servos is something you're going to need to consider when getting this car. 45 kilos minimum a piece on here. My radio link receiver is set up in there with its twin antennas to give that huge 600 meter range. Now this ZTW Beast 300 amp ESC is between 6S and 12S capable on here. Check out the ESC, 12 capacitors alone on there for the cat pack. So fingers crossed, no need for any extra cat pack. Now just about all of the main parts in the car are made out of steel. Yeah, sure, we've got a plastic brace at the front and the rear here, but bear in mind this is not a basher. This is a road focused car, guys. The ESC, this little cage here is for where if you've got a smaller ESC, you could fit it in there. But this thing is literally, as I said to Kevin Tolbert, about the size of half a house brick. I know Kev had quite an issue fitting those in, but this fits in under the body without any problem at all. Super thick metal chassis on there, as I say, four-wheel drive. Again, big bore shocks, fully adjustable. Again, adjustable turnbuckles at the back there. Just check out the thickness of that shock tower support. And a decent sized bump at the rear, as though somebody's more worried about you crashing it in reverse. Now these tyres, they almost look like someone should inflate them up like you would do proper auto tyres on here. But they are in fact just conventional RC tyres. Not sure what speed they're rated up to. Nor do I have any idea how fast this thing is going to go. But I will put the GPS on it when we find a nice big area to test it in. Just check out the size of that spur gear. It's probably 4.5 inches across, maybe 5. An opinion? Well, that's the size of a lot of spur gears on smaller cars. Actually got a decent amount of suspension travel on there, probably a couple of inches of clearance, and depending on how it handles, I'll obviously play around with the balance of the car, maybe lower it a bit at the front if it needs it, or leave it as it is. And as I say, this car is designed to run on between 6S and 8S, but I just took a look at the engineering of it, even from the online pictures and videos I saw of the car, and I thought this is going to handle the 12S without any problem at all on there. This motor is good for around about 7.8 brake horsepower on it, giving the car probably weighs maybe 22 pounds, considerably lighter than my low-C DBXLE, which this thing ran lightning fast in. I think this thing is going to absolutely fly along and accelerate like a rocket. Hence the name, Richie's RC Hypercar. Well, I hope you like what you see today in terms of Richie's RC Hypercar. I have a feeling it's going to live up to its name. It is one of the maddest builds I have done so far, and I've done quite a few crazy ones in the past few months. Sure, people will have lots of comments and questions, so far away in the comment section below the video. When is this car going to run in anger? It's going to run in anger this Sunday, all being well. So if you don't want to miss that video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the little bell. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.